Have you ever found yourself caught in a loop of thoughts that won't let go? Thoughts that cling to your energy like static, even when you try to shake them off? I've experienced this many times myself, both in my personal journey and in my work with others. And over the years, I've learned that these persistent thoughts, what we often refer to as thought forms, are not just harmless mental chatter. They are energetic imprints, and if left unaddressed, they can deeply affect our vibration, emotional state, and even our physical health. But the good news is, once you understand how thought forms manifest, you gain the power to dissolve them. Thought forms are like water vapors. Let me share with you an analogy that completely changed the way I view this phenomenon. Thoughts are like water vapors floating through the air, constantly swirling around us, invisible but present. You don't see them, but under the right conditions, they condense into form. The same way humid air entering your home can condense on a cool surface and turn into visible droplets, thought energy does the same inside your energetic field. You open the window, energetically speaking, by entertaining a thought or aligning with a particular frequency. And once that thought enters your field and stays long enough, it condenses. It becomes real. It becomes a thought form. This happens not just with your own thoughts, but also with millions of thoughts floating around you every day, emanating from people, devices, places, even nature. Consciousness is everywhere, and when your energy field is porous or depleted, these stray thoughts can easily enter your space. This is why energetic hygiene is just as important as physical hygiene, and yet most people go through life never being taught how to filter their thoughts. Now let me tell you how thought forms take root. I used to believe that trying to stop a negative thought was the solution, but every time I tried to push a thought away, it only got stronger. I'd tell myself, don't think about it, only to find it echoing louder in my mind. Here's why. Your body doesn't understand negation. When you say, don't think about this, your energetic system still focuses on this. You're feeding the very frequency you're trying to escape. Instead, I've learned to work with the thought, not against it. I tell my body lovingly and clearly, this thought is not helping me. I'm ready to let it go. And then I redirect. The fastest way to shift out of a looping thought is not by arguing with it, but by choosing something else. In the beginning, I'd focus on the simplest things, a pattern on my wall, a color I liked, a flower nearby, or even the sound of my breath. Anything that felt lighter than the thought that was gripping me. At first, this may feel forced, but the more you do it, the more natural it becomes. Your brain begins to build a new pattern. Your energy begins to reroute, and eventually, those heavy thought forms stop getting the attention they need to survive. This practice of redirection is based on the principle of commitment and consistency. Once you commit to choosing what feels better, your energy system begins to support that consistency. The thought forms lose traction. Sometimes, however, a thought won't leave, and when that happens, I now see it as a sacred invitation and not a curse. Thought forms that cling are often rooted in something deeper, an acknowledged fear, a wound, or a past trauma that needs to be seen. Instead of resisting it, I sit with it. I imagine holding the thought in my hands like a physical object. I look at it and I ask, when did you first appear? What are you trying to tell me? What emotion created you? What I found is that once I identify the emotion behind the thought, usually fear, shame, guilt, or grief, I can begin to process and release it. The thought form dissolves when the emotion that birthed it is honored and healed. One of the most powerful energetic tools I use in my personal practice and in my work is the violet flame. The violet flame doesn't fight thoughts, it transmutes them. It changes their vibration at the atomic level. Imagine it as a spiritual fire that doesn't burn, but transforms, lifting dense energy back into light. You can use this tool anytime. Simply say, "Beloved violet flame, I call upon you now. Please transmute all negative thought forms I have picked up, created, or allowed into my field. Return them to the source for healing. Fill me with light, clarity, and peace." Repeat this while visualizing violet light pouring into your crown and washing down your body. With practice, this becomes an effortless, energetic cleanse. Another method that has never failed me is working with Archangel Michael. When the thought form feels particularly stubborn, I say, "Archangel Michael, I call upon you now. Please cut all cords, ties, and attachments to thought forms that do not serve my highest good. Remove them from my field and send them into the light for healing and transmutation." Almost instantly, I feel the weight lift, the space clears, my energy feels like mine again. This invokes the principle of authority, not just mine, but also the divine authority of the beings who support us when we ask. You are not alone in this work. For those who need physical support while clearing repetitive thoughts, white chestnut flower essence has been a favorite of mine. It's gentle, safe, and works deeply on the mental and emotional layers. I've recommended it to many, and it's especially helpful when the mind feels too loud to rest. A few drops taken daily can soften the sharp edges of overthinking and help the mental field regain harmony. You're not at the mercy of your mind. Thought forms are not stronger than you. They are not permanent. They are not you. They are temporary guests, some invited, some not. But you are the gatekeeper of your consciousness, and you have every right and every ability to choose what stays and what leaves. If you're struggling with heavy thoughts, know that you're not alone. And if you ever need support, I am here to help you clear what no longer serves so you can reconnect with your light and your mission. Because when your light is clear, your soul can speak again. I'm sending you a lot of love and high vibrations. Thank you for watching.